When the automobile was created, there was only one thing and one thing alone that it had to do to get you from point A to point B. Now, the usual choice for most people looking for this exact purpose only out of their cars is to get something like the Toyota Vios. However, if you want something just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit bigger, a little bit more practical, I would say, then this is probably the next car that you should go for. This right here is the 2018 Toyota Corolla Altis 1.6G. It's as basic as you can get, but with all the practicality. This segment of cars isn't exactly known to be the most ostentatious, but among them, the Altis is probably the most bare bones as you can go. So for example, up front, just a couple of chrome trims over there. You still don't even get LED headlights on this one, although you do get LED DRLs with this one, fog lights down below, and also some extra vents over there. But aside from that, the general look of the car, nothing much, pretty basic. On the side, it is the same story, so not much lines over here. There is just one character line across this one and a smaller one towards the rear doors. Speaking of the rear doors, they do look like a smaller version of what you would get with a Toyota Camry. 16-inch rims on this one, so it does add more to the comfort. Repeaters on your turn signals, and again, that's about it. Towards the rear, it is more of a bigger Vios, which is always a welcome addition because it looks more premium than it is. It's a very grown-up looking design at the back, so there is not much sporty bits back here. Chrome strip running all across, really huge tail lamps, and opening this one up, and you have a really huge trunk over here, and you can even fold down the rear seats. Once you open this cover right here, you do even reveal a full-size spare tire, which is not something you find in cars nowadays. Powering the Toyota Corolla Altis G, you have this 1.6-liter inline-4 gasoline engine with dual VVTi variable valve timing. This one right here produces 122 horsepower and 154 newton meters of torque. Now this is also mated to a CVT transmission with 7 simulated gears. The interior of the Altis is pretty much what you would expect from this segment. So up top and on the sides, you do get rather hard touch materials. Your seats, they are pretty comfortable. However, they're only manually adjustable for both the driver and the passenger side. Steering wheel, it's covered in polyurethane, but it is multifunction. On the left side are your audio controls. On the right side, you get to control your multi-information display found in your gauge cluster. Speaking of your gauge cluster, there is this light tint of blue. It's just a small hue of blue, which just livens up the mood a little bit and makes it a little bit more classy. To the middle of everything, you have this huge looking head unit. However, the main screen is only quite tiny, and you don't even get Bluetooth on this one. However, you do get an aux port and a USB outlet. Below it, you get your single zone climate control, which is still a welcome addition compared to your usual rotary knobs. You get your shifter as well. It's your regular shifter with manual adjustments. You can adjust the CVT of this one with its 7 manually simulated gears, a regular handbrake, and more cubbies over here. For your cup holders, you get 2 in the center and also 1 on the side. The general profile of the cabin, it is a 2-tone finish, which just looks really nice and very classy looking. At the back seat of the Toyota Corolla Altis, you might expect that legroom will be a lot better than the Toyota Vios. Honestly, it's not, but the seats, they are thicker, both the front and the rear seats, so they are much more comfortable. However, your legroom is still pretty good as it is, and your headroom is also much better this time. For your toys back here, you don't really get much, but they did give you an armrest lined with this silver trim, and under that, you do reveal 2 cup holders as well as a huge bottle holder by the side. Unfortunately, you still do not get air vents with this one, but you can easily seat 3 people back here. It's way better than the Toyota Vios because this car is just much wider. Now we head on over to the driving impressions of the Toyota Corolla Altis G. And first off, for this car, it's a very grown-up driving feel, just like the looks of the car on the outside and on the inside. The way this car feels, it's just geared towards a comfortable driving experience. There's nothing really inspiring about it in any way. If you're looking for a car that is just for getting you from point A to point B very comfortably, no fuss, this is absolutely the car to get because it's just so damn comfortable in here. Even if you go on over to really bad roads, this thing just returns miles and miles of comfortable driving. Even your passengers at the back, they will enjoy this car so much. Now, next thing would be the visibility and the parking, basically the practicality of this car. It's pretty good because there's really not that much blind spots in this car. Your wing mirrors, they really give you good visibility, and at the back too, you see a lot out of it. Parking this car is also not that hard because it's not really all that long. If you compare this to a Vios, it's really not that much longer than if you compare it to a Camry. It is much smaller. Now this one comes with 122 horsepower, and you might think that that's not a lot, but if you do gun this car, it's quite a light car. So the power that you feel, the perception of the power is pretty good. 154 Newton meters of torque may not sound like much either, but also you feel all that torque, and it actually kind of pushes you back to your seat, which we will demonstrate right here. There is just a hint of that seat push feeling to it, and your CVT transmission is probably among the best. It's much better than some Japanese manufacturers out there, and it's not the pretty bad rubbery feel. There's none of that groaning that is very annoying that you get with this car. Even over speed bumps, you really wouldn't feel it as much as what you would feel with its competitors. So for example, if you compare this to the Honda Civic or the RS Turbo, this one definitely rides a lot better than that. So even if you're a bit on the advanced in age, you will enjoy this car so much. It's just so practical, this one. For your fuel economy, which adds to the practicality, in town, this car returns around 8 kilometers per liter in pretty hellish traffic. But once you get on over to the motorway, you can actually return over 16 or 17 kilometers per liter with this car. Now, the one downside that the comfort-oriented nature of this car has is that if you compare it to, for example, again, the Honda RS Turbo Civic, the steering feel is non-existent. You have absolutely no feedback with this. You don't know where the front tires are pointing, but it's incredibly light. So if you do want to maneuver this in town, in tight streets, you will not have any issues at all. Back when this generation Corolla Altis was new, you can get them for around 1 million pesos or just slightly above it. If you want to get a brand new unit of this today, or at least its equivalent 1.6G, you have to pay over 1.1 million pesos or 1.13 million pesos to be exact. However, if you buy one used, you can actually get these for a lot less than that, probably even 40% less than that. And if you go on over to Automart.ph, we have a huge selection of cars as well as Toyota Altis for your choosing as well. This particular unit right here is what we call an ACUV, or an Automart certified used vehicle, but this one is only a silver certification. That means although you do not get the 1 year or 10,000 kilometer warranty, you are still able to enjoy the 3-day love it or hate it policy, and we can also bring this car to you for a test drive anywhere in the Philippines. This has been Kyle Leong for Automart.ph. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and also click that bell icon so you never miss a video from us. And also please do share our videos for many other people to see. If you're looking for a used car, don't forget, i-Automart na yan.